We're going to show you a series of pelvic stabilization exercises that can be performed on an exercise ball. Right this, I'm going to talk a little bit about the ball at first, proper sizing for an exercise ball, so that when you are sitting on it, your hips make a 90-degree angle with your trunk and also with your knees. So if you have a ball and it's sort of in between sizes, you can either inflate it more to raise yourself up, take a little bit of air out of it to lower yourself, etc. But what you want to end up with is a 90-degree bend in both the hips and the knees. Okay? If your stability on the ball is in question and you're worried about falling, position yourself in between two objects and you can hold on to them. So if you put a chair on either side of you, you can hold on to the chair, something along those lines, until you feel comfortable enough to do this sort of freestanding. Okay? The first exercise we're going to talk about is called rocking of the pelvis. You're going to pretend your hips are a golf ball sitting on a golf tee, and you're going to rock them side to side without moving your upper body or your lower body. So what I want you guys to focus on as Dr. Sarah performs this exercise is her hips. All of the motion is coming with her hips, side to side. It's all this muscle right above the hips, which is called the quadratus lumborum. There's a very subtle motion here. She's not leaning side to side. She's not moving the ball side to side. It's almost, I like to tell people, as if they're trying to pick their butt cheek off the ball for some sort of reason. I'll leave that up to you. After rocks, we're going to move to tilts. So she's going to perform essentially the same maneuver, but in a different plane. It's going to be forward and back. Sometimes I'll refer to these as Beyoncé's and Urkels. So she's going to tuck her hips underneath her, and then she's going to arch her back and sort of push her pelvis out behind her. And she's going to rock back and forth, or tilt, I should say, back and forth in that plane. The third and final exercise is a march. There's various degrees of the march. I'll start with the simplest version and we'll upgrade as we go. The simplest version is simply no hand involvement and alternating lifting your heels off the ground. So if we pay attention to her heels, she'll lift her right heel up, she'll lift her left heel up, all while trying to maintain as still a posture as possible. She's not compensating with her upper body at all. The ball lends you some stability or some instability, which forces you to use your muscles to maintain your balance. The second sort of step up after you've accomplished the heels and your rock steady with your heels is to lift the entire foot up. So she'll adjust her right foot straight off the ball, or off the ground. She'll lift her left foot straight off the ground, and she'll alternate back and forth there. The third and final level of this alternate marching exercise is for Dr. Sarah to hold her arms directly out in front of her. And whenever she lifts her left leg off the ground, she'll lift her right arm straight in the air, and she'll alternate back and forth like that. As you can probably tell, this is the least stable she's been with this last exercise, which can blend to the fact that it should be. It's the most difficult one, it's the most complicated motion. But when you get to the point where you're stable and you're sturdy all the way through, this is where we want you to end up. I should mention that all three of these exercises are performed for 30 seconds at a time. And you want to give yourself a 30-second break, and you want to work up towards 3 sets of each of the exercises. So what that involves is 30 seconds rocking side to side, a 30-second rest, 30 seconds rocking side to side, a 30-second rest, and then another 30 seconds rocking side to side. Then you would repeat that process on the tilts, and then you would repeat that process on the marches.